Alright, welcome back to the Supercode Snuff channel. In this video we're going to preview round 8 of the 2025 NRL Fantasy season. So before we talk about my team and what I'm doing, we'll have a look at the who's hot and who's not list on NRLFantasyStats.com. I guess this is on Wednesday night as well, so there might be some late updates to the order of things. But we can go through it anyway. So number one, Hugo Savalas is still at bottom dollar, but I guess looks fairly well set in the Roosters 7. Probably hasn't done anything wrong, just probably hasn't had any sort of attacking stats at this point. But Anzac Day afternoon, hopefully a dry track out there, could be some points on offer. So I do like it as a pick. Obviously covers a lot of the bye period, all dependent on when Sam Walker makes his return. Jacob Kiraz, this number 2, I brought him in last week. Very happy with his output. Can't talk him up enough. So absolutely a must get in. Actually, I shouldn't say must, but get him in if you want. Toby Couchman is one I flirted with bringing in this week. He is a season-long keeper. Just concerned about the round 12 bye. So I'm not bringing him in yet, but I mean, if you're looking for a keeper in the middle, I've already got quite a few, so I just sort of have to let him go for a bit. Nathan Cleary, I think, yep, you can bring him in whenever you like. Don't need to talk about that. Dylan Lucas, do see him as a keeper in the centre position. Obviously, the dual edge position is useful. And the Knights do offer pretty good bye coverage through the origin period. I think they have the bye in round 12. But after that, they're sweet. I'll actually just bring it up here. So the Knights, so they're good right up until round 18. So, yeah, start bringing in the Knights, guys. Who was it? I think it was the Cowboys was the one had the 12 bye, and then they're all good. That's where I was getting confused. So yeah, Fletcher Sharp, copy and paste what I just said, bring him in, covers most of the bye rounds. Halasima is one I would not bring in, bit of a trap, just given he's moved back to the bench with a couple of the back line guys coming back for the Warriors. Hiroti, I think if you're bringing him in this week, you don't have him for too long. So I would look elsewhere at a mid-priced centre wing option, or centre wing fullback option, I should say. Dylan Egan, if you're convinced that he's a keeper, you could bring him in. If you just think he's a cash generator, you've probably missed most of it already. So potentially look elsewhere. Aaron Clark, is he dual position in this game? I can't remember. Just try and load it up. It'll take forever. I don't know why I did this to myself. If he is eligible at hooker, it's not the worst shout because he is playing as that middle forward. No, I'll give up. It'll probably take forever to reload the main page too. Don't know why I do this to myself every week. I know what I should do. I think if I go hooker, yeah, so Aaron Clark. So there you go. He is at hooker. That's a great idea. I'm glad I've come up with that. So yeah, so the dual position is handy. So I can understand that. Ryan Pappenhausen, yeah, I think he could be a keeper in the wing fullback position. So yeah, whenever you want, you can bring him in. Nawangini Tuase, I guess now that looks like he is locked in with Dom Young being the one to drop out. I think you can bring him in. Roosters offer that really nice bye coverage. Potentially you could wait till after their bye in round 10, but you might make some money before then. So comfortable with people trading him in. Greg Marzu, yep. So again, the nice buy coverage for um, the Knights means great time to get him in. Isaiah Katoa as a bit of a keeper in the halves, I don't hate it, um, but I think I'm leaning towards Mitch Moses next week. And Jackson Purdue, so um, a bit like Hiroti, where he's made, or sorry, Dylan Egan, where he's made a lot of his money. But spoiler alert, he is one of my trade-ins this week, so I can't talk anyone out of it. I'll explain my thought process behind that in a minute. On the who's not list, so who we're trading out, Jaden Campbell. I'm holding him in Supercoach, but when you've only got a 21-man squad in fantasy, you can't hold um, that money for that long. So I have to get rid of Jaden Campbell this week. Reece Walsh, similar story, injured, trade him out. Jack Howarth, injured, trade him out. Grant, injured, trade him out. Hubner, um, only out for 1 week, so you could hold, but again, spoiler alert, I'm trading him out. Sandon Smith, I'd probably, if you've held him this long, I'd just try and hold through the origin period. Um, I guess maybe a few people switching to Savala for similar coverage in that position. Fair enough. Kautoga is probably one I'd suggest holding if you can. Obviously, if you need a centre this week, he is probably able to be traded out. Yep, Jack Cole can go, not in the team currently. Kalen Ponga, I think, is a hold, for the reasons I just said, although he doesn't play Origin. Um, the Knights still have all those other rounds during the Origin period where they play, and I think they'll have to play Ponga. I don't know if they can afford to rest him. Iongi, I mean, you could trade if you're ready to let him go. Um, it might even be a last minute trade, just from looking at this list and talking it out. But at the moment, he's a hold for me. Hamish Stewart, I think he's only a 1 week, so could hold, but a bit like Hubner, if you can move to a better option, you move to a better option. Kajeski, yep, chop him. Jai Gray going to the bench. I think you do have to chop him. He is going to start losing value. Corey Pakes has gone to the bench, so he is a trade. And Jamie Humphries, I mean, if you've held him for this long, I don't know if he's that far away. Maybe another 2 weeks. So I guess if you can do it to bring in, like a Fletcher Sharp or something like that, probably makes sense. But yeah, it depends, team dependent on that one. Sit on the fence. So for me this week, the play is currently two trades. So Jaden Campbell out, as I said, and as I said, Lockie Hubner out, Jackson Purdue in. Um, so I have gone Dylan Lucas as well. So with that, I just figured I like Lucas as a keeper in the centres. He probably will go up a bit in price. So this is the cheapest I can get him. So I was happy to sort of just lock him in now. And with the Purdue trade, it might seem, he's already made 200k. He's not necessarily going to make another 200k, which I'm comfortable with. But the justification is that I have held back a couple of trades early doors. So if you've max traded, I think you're down to about 21 trades now or something like that. If my maths is any good, I have saved, I think, 3 trades if you count the third trade last week. So potentially I do have the ability to bring him in and take him back out. But as I said, part of the thing I was a bit muddled up about is if I can hold him through round 12, which I may not be able to, but then he would cover the rest of the buy period. So could be a super handy number to hold during that origin period. And then even if I was to sell him for a similar price, hopefully a bit more, 550-ish, I'd call that a win. So yeah, so those are the two trades that I've locked in. But as I said, talking it through and talking up the Knights, I'm thinking potentially Iongi out, and I think he scored well last week, so let's go by points. Any fear of working? Now it's frozen. Yeah, so top point scorer last week. So Greg Marzo. I don't think I can actually. Just doing the quick maths. Yeah, so 573, 591. Didn't quite work out. So we'll cancel that. Lost all my money. That's not ideal. Um, because Greg Marzu's still in. So perhaps there is a world where we change the Purdue trade to Marzu, but I know Purdue's got like a -10 break even or something ridiculous from his two scores, so he will make cash. But then Marzu does have that clean run right through till round 18 now. Hmm. All right, let's reverse the trade. Bit of live trading going on here. Reverse. And as always, fantasy dragging the chain. So he should pop up down here. So Hobner out. Marzu in. So it doesn't leave me as much cash in the bank, but that's okay. All right, done. So an update of how that puts the team. Yeah. So I guess there's a few sort of buy players floating around, um, but I've tried to organise the team in terms of probably how I see them start sit sort of options if everyone was playing. Um, so the starting 13 is there, but probably now Nwanga Nitawase will swap. So slow. This is why I don't like doing live trading on the fantasy video. Such a punish. And then we'll put Nwanga Nitawase in here. Or if I just click a lot, will that work? No. But we can probably have a bit of a look. So the starting 13, maybe swap Hopgood and Egan around. Um, but, that's a pretty decent 13. Um, and then the bench, so Hopgood, or Egan, whatever. Happy with that. Got Riley Smith to cover at hooker. So, again, would like a probably a better second hooker. Mamazelis, we could almost sort of keep on the bench as cover for a Watson, something like that. Tom Gilbert is one I'm probably going to upgrade next week. I do just need him to play this week. But we could use his money to contribute towards a Moses because, as you can see, we are pretty light in the halves now with Campbell gone. Only got Cleary, Metcalf, and Savala as backup. So I think the priority is a third half, or sorry, fourth half. No offense there to Hugo. So I think between Gilbert and Toa, who we've got Kautoga, we've got Kiraz's cover as well for the centres. So I think Toa we can use his money next week as well. So those two should get me to Moses at what's he at 700, 690 or 700, and what's that give me like an extra 200. So it will be a very cheap option, that we get. We may be able to do a third trade too. We may look at sort of getting out of Jenkins. So it'll probably be 2 downgrades and get that upgrade at half. And so then, yes, what the bench after that would probably be like a Caltoga, Hopgood, Moses, if we bring him in, and then, maybe Iongi. So, these two guys might sort of be dead positions, which isn't ideal. Smith and Savala, more in case of emergency type picks. So that'll leave us with those 4 bench options as, you know, sort of being okay, I think. But yeah, so I think we'll run with that, and we'll see how it goes. Just thinking, we couldn't afford Iongi to Marzi. Could we do Caltoga to Purdue? So I'll just look at the price here. I won't try and do the trade live because we haven't got an extra half an hour to sit and watch the video. Is he 4? No, he's 4 something. If he's around 460, it might be on 469. So that's only 23k. Let's do it. Because, yeah, Caltoga's cash has sort of peaked after that low scoring game. So this is going to take forever. There it is. Just search for it. Purdue. Confirm the trade. Done. So yeah, so that gets us a bit of extra cash gen as well. So a little bit aggressive, but as I said, I have saved a couple of trades, so that sort of aggressive move I don't think is the worst. Yeah. So yeah, next week Gilbert, Toa, happy days. Cool. So we'll wrap the captain, vice captain. Like I said, hoping Payne Haas doesn't have a big one against the Dogs. So let's captain May against the Sharks. Or do we captain Cleary against Manly? Ooh. V or C. Let's see it. So captain Cleary, VC May. I guess now that I've got a team plan, I probably should set up the loop properly. I sort of just had them in a certain order. So Jenkins plays Saturday night before Toa. So I think that would be the loop. So let's just throw Iongi there. Yep. Stop that. Alright, I'll do this off camera, but basically it'll just be, we'll set it up so that we can loop Jenkins in if he scores well. If not, we'll take Toa's score against the Sharks. But let's wrap the video up there. It's taken way too long thanks to the internet. So yeah, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the fantasy content despite the delays. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel, and other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.